2.
The bigger story, perhaps, last night was the breakout party for AJ Dybantsa, the 5-star freshman we've talked about a lot. I told you, I think I came back from Peach Jam 2 years ago, and I was like, yo, I saw this young guy just finished his freshman year of high school, led Peach Jam in scoring. He looks like a future number 1 pick in the draft, a future NBA scoring champ. We'll fast forward, and here we are. 28 points last night. He outscored Clemson by himself in the second half. BYU was down 22 at one point in this game. Erase that, win it. Dybantsa goes big. Rob Wright knocks down a game-winning 30-footer. And so now BYU, a little bit like UConn, also sitting here as a one-loss team, 8-1. Their lone loss is to UConn, and that's another team that looks like an undeniable national championship contender. I just saw this. Fran Fraschilla tweeted earlier. That game, the Florida-UConn game, was the 37th ranked versus ranked matchup we've had this season. We are pacing at an incredible rate. We're getting more good games in college basketball early than we have quite literally ever gotten. And last night was a terrific example that you had in the nightcap, the ranked versus ranked matchup. And then in the earlier game, Clemson didn't have a number next to his name, so it's not ranked versus ranked, but that's still 2 power conference brands led by a guy who could be, on the BYU side, the number 1 pick in the draft, and he delivered. So if you were, light night in the NBA with a limited schedule because of the Cup, football non-existent on TV, you just turn on ESPN, you're watching basketball. You got 2 compelling college basketball games last night. The first one because Dybantsa went big. The second one because it was 2 brands that you recognize. So I know people get into these weird conversations about NIL and transfer portal, and it's ruining everything. And I'm not saying those complaints aren't without merit on some level, but big picture, like if you could just zoom out, college basketball is awesome right now. Like absolutely awesome. Television ratings support it. Ticket sales, attendance numbers support it. And it really is the byproduct, I think, on some level of we're getting incredibly talented people in school. We're keeping them there longer than we otherwise would have because of NIL. There are players playing college basketball right now who would be in the G League or perhaps even in the NBA, but they were paid millions of dollars to come back to college. We're getting incredible talent coming in from Europe internationally, and it's all led to, I think last night was a perfect illustration of it. College basketball is in a good place right now. It's not without its flaws, but in terms of just giving us compelling stuff, it's doing it almost every night.
I saw someone point this out yesterday, and it was related to football, but I wonder if it applies to college basketball as well. They basically said that, and it specifically with the Big Ten, they were talking about how NIL helped that league so much in football because they were doing it the right way for a long time at most of those schools, and now the ones that were doing it the right way can just pay guys money, and so they're getting better rosters. And I wonder if that kind of applies to some of these schools in college basketball that maybe were doing it the right way once upon a time, and now they can do it the right way with money.
I think I hear what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I think what you're trying to say without saying it is it possible the reason the SEC was so good in football for all those years is because it was the one league more than any other paying people under the table.
Yes.
And now that the Big Ten and other leagues can all spend money on players, as you know, Coach O might say, you can walk in the front door with the cash now instead of walk in the back door with the cash now. It has leveled the playing field, and maybe that's the best explanation for why, when you look at the college football playoff bracket, it's a Big Ten team and a non-traditional power Big Ten team.
Right.
That is the 1 seed. Yeah, I think there's probably something to that. People say it in college basketball as well. I won't mention any programs by name.
Yeah, I got you.
But there are some programs that, man, they're awesome every year without exception. And in recent years, maybe haven't been as awesome. And some people, not me, but some people look at that and go, well, you see what happened, right? They used to be the ones getting deals done, you know? And everybody else was, or at least some other schools weren't. But now everybody's getting deals done because you can get deals done now. And so it's a little harder when everybody can pay players.
Yeah.
You know?
Like this BYU thing. I mean, dude, are they a contender, by the way?
Yeah. Yeah, and they've
never won a national championship.
It's all paid for. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
They don't even try to, like,
Oh, they're not doing anything wrong.
No, but it's so outrageous what they've done that they're just sort of embracing it. Like, why is AJ Dybantsa at BYU? He's not Mormon. He's not from the area. He's from Boston. Mm-hmm. He's from the Boston area. Pre-NIL, he'd be at UConn or Kentucky or Duke or Kansas. That's where he would be.
Yeah.
Bring AJ Dybantsa out of high school 10 years ago, and John Calipari, Mike Krzyzewski, Bill Self, and whoever's coaching UConn are fighting over him.
Yep.
And that's where he's going to school. But a billionaire came in and they paid him to go to prep school in Utah. And then it was like, hey, you're already in Utah. Don't you like it here? Aren't the mountains nice? We could pay you more millions to just stay in Utah and star at BYU. Do you know we got an NBA coach, used to work with Kevin Durant. So he's going to teach you how to be Kevin Durant, and here's $7 million. I mean, it is what it is. Baylor had a deal to get Rob Wright back in school. They thought they had the deal done. It was like, hey, we want you back. You're thinking about going to the NBA. He was a 5-star prospect coming out of high school, but we want you back. Here's, millions of dollars. They thought they had that done. Then BYU was like, here's more millions of dollars. And he was like, peace out, I'm gone. I mean, it's all ball. They're awesome. They've got the big explosive center who quite literally broke the goal last night and put the whole thing into a delay, Kebakeda. Richie Saunders is one of the better shooters in America. Dybantsa is maybe the number one pick in the draft. Rob Wright was a 5-star prospect. I mean, they're good. They're good. So, they're a contender. And it shows you that you can now do this anywhere. Anywhere in a power conference. I think not to loop this back to Memphis, but we're learning it is harder to, even if you've got the money, to convince people to play in the American. It just is. I'm not calling it a trend, but it is something you notice that in back-to-back, like in this calendar year 2025, Memphis has lost the AAC Men's Basketball Player of the Year to the transfer portal and the AAC Women's Soccer Offensive Player of the Year to the transfer portal. That's not good.
Yep. Once
upon a time, league affiliation did not matter to the University of Memphis. You could still get Derrick Rose. You could still get Penny Hardaway. You could still get Elliot Perry. You didn't have to play in the SEC to do that. But now we just lost. I'll just speak it factually. The University of Memphis just lost 2 conference players of the year to the transfer portal. And they've got money, but these people are looking for something else. And so I don't know that you can build it anywhere anymore because it's harder than ever outside of the power conferences, which is why Memphis desperately needs to figure out how to get on the other side of the rope. And they're working hard to do it.
Yep.
But you can, inside the power conferences, you can build championship caliber stuff anywhere if you've got the right resources and the right people running it. BYU has a national championship contender in basketball, and Indiana has a national championship contender in football. How did that happen? They hired the right people, and they gave them the resources to build it. That's the blueprint. You can do it. Yes, there are some places that have advantages over others, but you can do this anywhere now, which I think perhaps might be one of the miscalculations on Lane Kiffin's account. We find out going forward. Clearly, it's easier to build a championship contender at LSU than it is at Ole Miss. But can you build them at Ole Miss consistently? Yeah, I think so. He had just done it. And what we're learning is it doesn't matter if you have basketball tradition at BYU or football tradition at Indiana. Do you have resources and the right people? Then you can do it. And BYU is a good example of that on the hardwood right now.